I'm going to be showing you how to make a bumblebee. I will show you what it's going to look like here. These are the things that you're going to need. So right here I have a pair of scissors. This is my crochet hook. It is a size 4.25. This is the only crochet hook that I use for amigurumis. It's pretty small. I don't know where this is from. This was my grandmother's from when she used to crochet. I have my stitch counter. If you don't have one of these, it's fine. You can just write down your stitches. I find that I really love this. I just got this at Michael's. I have a stitch holder. These are the eyes for the bumblebee. And then this is really crucial. This is a needle to sew everything together. So this is what I have, and I'll show you my yarn. So this is the yarn that I use for the bumblebee. It is nothing fancy. I get all of my yarn at Michael's or Walmart. Nothing fancy. I have black, yellow, and pink. So I have been crocheting for a long time, but there's a lot of things I still don't know. And one of them is a magic ring. I have no idea how to make a magic ring, so I'll show you what I do. I have done magic rings 1,000 times in my life, and every single time I need to look up a YouTube video on how to do it. So I found this way where I can avoid doing magic rings altogether, and I'm going to show you how I do that. So this is just a starting ring, and what I do for the fake magic ring that I do is I chain 2, so that's 1, 2. And the first row of this pattern is single crocheting into the magic ring, and you're going to do that 6 times. But because I don't have a magic ring, I just go into this first stitch 6 times. So you just single crochet. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then what I do is just pull this tight together, and then it makes this little pattern here. And it's the same thing. If you know how to do a magic ring, do it. I mean, this is just the way that I do things. Here's my stitch counter, and I do 1. You just press the top. So row 2 is increasing, and I just count these. I don't actually use my stitch marker yet. You can if you'd like to. This is that stitch marker, and what you would do is you would just put it right here, but I just like to count them because sometimes fumbling over the stitch marker is not something that I like to do. So I forgot to mention too, this is the nose of your bumblebee. So this is where we're starting. This is the head of it. So what we're going to do is increase 6 times. So we're going to end up with a total of 12 stitches. So what we do is we go into this first V right here, and we do 2. So you're going to single crochet just like you did before, single crochet. Well, there's 1. The next one, you're going to go into the same exact stitch and single crochet, so that's 2. You're going to do that all the way around until you get to 12. So let me see if I can get a little bit closer. There's a little V right there. What you do is you go underneath it and you pull this through, and it's 1. Oh, sorry, that's 3, 4, 5, 6, into the same stitch, so 6. So we're halfway there. 7, into the same one. 8, 9, 10, into the same one. 11, into the next one. And then 12 into the same one. So increasing, that's increasing, and you just, that is row 2. So you get your little clicker, and that is row 2. So the next row is row 3, and we're gonna do 2 single crochets and then an increase. So this is where I like to put my stitch marker into. I just got these at Michael's again. I literally get everything at Michael's or Walmart, nothing fancy. You just stick it in here. If you don't have one of these, you can come up with other options like a paper clip or literally anything, another piece of yarn that's a different color. And you can just clip this one. And then from here it's row 3, and so row 3 is 2 single crochets and then an increase. So no, I'm sorry, row 3 is a single crochet and then an increase. Sorry about that. First YouTube video if you couldn't tell. So this row is row 3, and it's going to be 1 single crochet, so you single crochet in here, and then 2 single crochets into the same stitch, which is an increase. So that's that one, and then increase, and then so we're gonna single crochet and increase. So 2 into the same one, single crochet, increase, so 2 into the same one, single crochet, increase, single crochet, increase, 2 into the same one, and then single crochet, and then you should typically, doesn't always happen in my videos because I'm not always consistent with my patterns unfortunately, but you want to always end, your stitch marker should end on an increase. Doesn't always happen, and if it doesn't, it's not a big deal. These are just little fun amigurumis, nothing perfect, but try to end on an increase if you can. So there's one, and I just leave my stitch marker in there because I'm super lazy and I don't like to take this out every single time and move it a lot. I mean, every video does that. If you want to do that, absolutely take it out and move it. You would move it up here. I just leave it there. Doesn't bother me. And we're just gonna move around it. So the next row is now it's the 2 and then increase. So what you're gonna do is you hit your little stitch thing saying that we did 3 rows, so now we're on row 4. And so what you're gonna do here is 2, so you do 1 single crochet, another single crochet, and then an increase, and you do that all the way around. So what you do is 1, 2, and then an increase. 1, 2, increase. 1, 2, and then increase. 1, 2, increase. 1, 2, increase. And see how my increase is, it's close to the stitch. And I'm just gonna leave it there. So that is row 4. Okay, so for row 5, we're going to do 3 single crochet and then increase. So into this stitch here that has the stitch marker in it, we're gonna do 1 single crochet, another single crochet, another single crochet, and then increase. So 2 in the same stitch, and you're gonna do that all the way around. Okay, we just finished row 5, so I changed my little marker here. See how you're crocheting, if you're like me, it starts to circle up into like a little, it's starting to become a little bowl where it's starting to circle in on itself. So this is the good side, the side that we're looking at that has the stitch marker sticking up. So this is the good side, and that's the one that's curling outwards. So this is the bad side. So you want this to be on the inside of your bumblebee. So what you're gonna do is try to press it outward like this. So you want it to curl this way instead of inside out like this, because this little string is gonna be on the inside. So you want to curl it outward like this. So start doing that, start trying to make it curl outward, and we're gonna move on to row 6, which is 4 single crochets and then an increase. So we're really just bringing up the single crochet each time. So now we're at 4. So what you're gonna do is do 1 single crochet, another, so that's 2, 3, 4, and then increase in the next one. 1, 2, and then you're just going to keep doing that all the way around. So I can show you another round if you'd like to see, if not speed up, but it's 1 single crochet, another single crochet, 3, 4, and then increase. So 2 in the same stitch for an increase. And then you do all the way around until you get to your stitch marker, which I kept mine in the same spot, but yours would be like right here if you moved it. Okay, so we just finished row 6, so I'll use my little stitch marker. We're on row 6 now. So row 6 is single crochet, let me start again. Row 7 is single crochet all the way around. You're not going to do any increases. So that's for row 7, 8, and 9. So you can, I might do that actually right now. I'm going to move my stitch marker up to the top because it's getting kind of far away, and I just stick it right here and then put it together. And for the next 3 rows, you're going to do just a single crochet all the way around. So same thing we've been doing, single crochet here, and it's all the way around, and it should be 36 around. So you can count to 36. That's 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm not going to count to 36, but you get the idea. It goes to 36 all the way back to your stitch marker, and you're going to do 1 row, 2 rows, and then 3 rows, and then that should be at 9 on your stitch marker or on your paper if you're writing down your markers. And then I'll meet you back when this says 9. Okay, so I have finished the 9th row. It should look like this. I've turned it the right side out, so this is the side that I want the face to be. This is your bumblebee's face. This is the inside, so we want to make sure that the string is on the inside and we have it turned the right way. So this is basically going to be the center of the face, obviously. These are the eyes that I was telling you about. I just got these on Amazon. I actually could not find these at Michael's. I'm really surprised that they didn't have them. So I ordered them on Amazon. It came in a big package. I can show you the package actually if you wanted to see it. So this is the package that I got from Amazon. I actually really loved this one. It has all these different sizes. This one is the 12mm one that I'm going to be using, but they also have noses, which I thought were so cute. I used these on a couple of bears and dogs. I didn't even realize there were noses when I ordered them, but I got these. They were super cheap. There's like hundreds of these in here, and I think it was like $6. So pretty good. So what you do with these, they also come with these backings on all of them. So I like my bumblebee to have these really wonky kind of eyes that I think are really cute. So what I do is I just put them in. You can follow a pattern that tells you exactly which row to make them symmetrical. I just eyeball it, actually. So I just put them in there like that. And then what you do is you take the back of them, and they're like a little cup. If you can notice the back, it's like a little cup. So I put them on like this, and they're pretty tough to get off, so I kind of like to make sure that they're on there the right way first before I actually put the back on, but that's what it should look like. You can put them on the other way. I found they're more secure, especially if these are going to be for a little kid or an infant or something. I like to make sure that they're really secure on there, so I like to have the backing so the cup is facing out or up. So there's one, and then we'll put the other one on. I just push it down like that and it stays pretty well. So that's where I place the eyeballs, not in any specific row. 1, 2, 3, 4, between 4 and 5 on that side. Wow, that was lucky, between 4 and 5 on that side, if you wanted to copy exactly. So there's the eyes. So to do the smile, there's a couple different ways. You're gonna need your black yarn. I have this really good glue. Let me show you. So this is the glue. I got this at Michael's Liquid Stitch. It's the most amazing glue, and I've done this a couple times. I tried a couple different ways. Is I would put a smile with this and then glue a piece of yarn in the smile. It's okay. It's not like the best. As far as the look of it, it stays perfectly fine. If you're doing this for a child, like an infant or something, I would, if I were you, stitch it in rather than the glue, only because I feel like the glue is, I mean, there's always a chance it can come off, but I'll take my scissors and cut off a good amount, doesn't matter how much, truthfully. And then what I do is I feed this through like this and pull up, and then I just tie it on the end like this, so that the needle, these are, if you don't have a needle, I mean, it's worth the investment. They're not that much at Michael's. And I was originally doing this with just my crochet hook, and it was a disaster. So once I got this, it was a game changer. So what I do is I just eyeball it again, like I said before, and I like to make big smiles. So I come through the back like this, and what I do is I pull it through. I try to get it somewhat close to the same height, and then you can play with the smile. I mean, it's not like you could do that. If you don't like it, you could just take it out by pulling it like that. And I just do it until I find a shape that I like. And so anyway, I don't know, I think that's kind of cute. A little smile like that. It's not perfect. Actually, you know what? I don't like that. You could even make it like a totally meh bumblebee, you know, like no emotion, but that's not fun. So we're gonna make a smile. So I like to just, and you know, I could spend like 5 minutes doing this. It's really unnecessary if you really just wanted to do it one single way, but I like to play with it. So anyway, I think that's pretty good. I think that's a good smile for that. So what I do is I'll not tie it first, sorry. So what I do is I poke through the back in the middle where I want this to stay. Another thing you could do is take that glue again and glue it down so it stays like this. But what I do, just to be a little bit more secure, I come through the back. I'll try to show you. I'll come through the back like this, go above the smile. Just make sure your smile's down. Sorry, let's see. Come through like this. I go over top the smile. And then what I'll do, oh, sorry, hold on. So I come through the smile over the top like this. And what I do is go back in that same exact stitch. Try to find it. So you go underneath the smile. This is up top like this, if this makes sense. You're gonna bring it down and you're gonna go into that same exact stitch and put it through, so you're pulling it through the back. That just creates a loop, if you can see that holds the smile in place. And don't pull super hard, because you don't want it to be a triangle. You want it to be a smile, so just really gently. And then what I do is, I forgot to cut my yellow yarn. So what I do is I have my stitch marker in there, because we're gonna be switching to black anyway. I'll cut this, pull this yarn out, and then cut the black yarn that has the needle attached to it. And you can put the needle to the side, and without yanking or pulling anything super tight and crocheting, you don't want to like use your entire force all the time. You want to be really gentle with it, because you don't want to create any shapes that you don't want. See how it's still in a circle rather than just a sharp triangle? I made that mistake. This is why I'm telling you. But I would just gently create a knot on the back of this. It's not going to come undone. You're going to put stuffing in there, so don't worry about it too much. But that creates a nice little smile. And if you wanted to take this glue and put it under these lifted areas, you can. It's not necessary, but if you want it to be a little bit cleaner, sure, go ahead. And then just because I am paranoid, I like to triple knot and then cut the long pieces, because we don't need these long pieces anymore. Doesn't matter, truthfully, how you cut them. And this one just because I want to. So this is where you're at right now. And now I'm going to show you how to put little blush marks in so it looks like your bumblebee is blushing. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do the blushing part. So what you're going to need is your pink yarn, and I'm going to thread this through again. So I just fold it in half and I just thread and tie the end to the crochet hook. And the reason I tie it in a knot is because I don't want it to slip out, because I've done that 1,000 times. So what I do is I just cut a really long piece of pink yarn, doesn't matter the length. And so what you're gonna do is you're gonna come, I think it's coming through the back, but we're gonna try it. So we're gonna come through the back like this and go through at any point. If you want a big blush mark, if you want a little one, it's completely your decision. I like to do about that amount, and I just go, so I went through that way. I did that pretty fast, sorry about that. So we're gonna come through the same exact hole through the back, pull it through, and I like to do a couple lines of it so it's a little bit more, it stands out a little bit more. And then it looks like that. And all I do is I cut. So once that's done, I cut it and then I tie a knot. Again, the inside of your bumblebee is gonna look pretty crazy, but no one's gonna see it. It's gonna be full of stuffing. And then you tie it like that. And then on the other side, you're gonna do the exact same thing. Obviously your yarn is a little bit shorter than before, but it's fine. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna, anywhere really, I just eyeball it again. So I just come through like this and then go to the other side. And the good thing about this is it's not definite. If you don't like the placement of your pink yarn, just take it out and do it again. It's not, I wouldn't worry about it. And then you're gonna go through the same thing again on this side and then down through that side, and you have your blush mark. And so I just cut it again. You can cut your yarn and then tie a knot so that it doesn't come out like this. All right, so that is that. I just realized something, that I'm gonna tie my yellow back on. So I made a little bit of a mistake, but it's fine. So I typically like to end where my stitch marker is, I like to put it at the very bottom. So not a big deal. So all you have to do is tie this back on. Like this. And I'm just going to take my stitch marker out. And I'm going to single crochet all the way down to the bottom until I get to the very bottom underneath the smile. And see, you can't even tell that you tied a knot. On the inside you can, but that doesn't matter. So on the outside you can't. So I just go all the way around. And the next time you make one, if you think of it, always have that end where we tied the knot on at the very bottom. And the only reason I want to do that is because when we put the black on, I have not ever had straight black lines where it starts, and I like to have that at the bottom. So I'll show you what I mean. At the very end, you'll completely understand. I can also add in a little picture right here of what the bottom looks like when it goes from black to yellow. So crochet all the way around until I get to the bottom, and again I'm just doing single crochet. Okay, so now we're at the bottom. This time I actually am gonna pull a big thing here and I'm gonna cut my yellow yarn and get rid of the yellow yarn, and we're gonna switch to black. So I have my black yarn, and what I'm gonna do is pull this tight again. My crochet hook's in there. What I'm gonna do is take my black yarn and I'm going to pretend like I'm going to single crochet. So I'm going to single crochet, and this time, instead of pulling through this yellow yarn like this, like we would normally do, I'm going to put my crochet hook in here and I'm going to pull through the black yarn. And then use the black yarn to pull through like this. And what I like to do is tie these two together. You don't have to tie these two together. I just really like everything to be secure, if you couldn't tell, so I tie them together so they don't fall apart. So now that's tied together. You can cut this yellow yarn, it does not need to be that long. So from here, you're gonna, now that we changed to black, you're gonna single crochet all the way around here, and we're still using our stitch counter. It's on row 9, so we're gonna crochet all the way around here for row 10 in black. So you're just going to put it in here and we're gonna single crochet all the way around. And this should be 36 stitches all the way around still. So you're gonna crochet 36 stitches all the way around, and then obviously it's a clear distinction between the two, so once you get back to here you don't really need your stitch marker. Once you get back to the black, it'll be the end of row 10. Okay, so we just finished row 10, so we're going to change our stitch marker here, and then we have a black line that goes all the way around the bumblebee's face. Super cute. And so this is what I was trying to describe when I was saying that it's going to be uneven. See how I have some yellow in the black and it's kind of uneven here? This is why I wanted it to be at the bottom instead of at the side of the face, because typically when people display these, they're going to have the face like this. And I didn't want it to be a super obvious distinction between the two colors. And at the very end, I can show you, I just use Sharpie and I color in this. You don't have to do that. It's just, I like to have a little bit more of an even line. So for row 11, it's going to be another single crochet of black all the way around. So we'll do one more. You're just gonna do 36 stitches. You can put a stitch marker in here. All you would do is slip it in right here. I'm just gonna remember that it's at the very bottom and it will be pretty obvious. Sometimes those just get in the way for me, so I don't use them all the time. So we'll get all of this out of the way here. And so we're gonna work on row 11, single crochet all the way around. I know it's kind of hard to see with the black, but it's the exact same thing we've been doing the entire time. So 36 all the way around, and I'll meet you back here. Okay, so I just finished row 11, so I have my stitch marker here. So what we're gonna do now is change to yellow. So I kind of want it to be in line with this same, see how there's that one yellow part that goes into the black? So I did 36, but I'm actually gonna take some out. It's not in the pattern, but it just makes it look a little bit nicer. So what I'm gonna do is take my yellow yarn again. I'm just gonna cut the black yarn first. So it looks like this, and then I'm gonna take my yellow and I'm gonna do that same thing. I put it in, pretending like I'm gonna do a whole single crochet with the same color, and I'm just gonna grab the yellow and pull it through both like this, and then I'm gonna tie the ends together, this one and this one. so that way they don't come unraveled. So I tied those together. So now we're going to single crochet all the way around with yellow. Super easy. Same thing we've been doing this entire time. No increases or anything, just single crochet all the way around with yellow, and that will be row 12, and I'll meet you back at row 12. I'll just show you a couple with the yellow. So see how it kind of is lined up here a little bit, and we're just gonna go all the way around. Again, I'm not using my stitch marker. It's pretty obvious where to end. This will be kind of all over the place, but the top is very clean. So that's what I meant about having it at the bottom. Okay, so we just finished row 12, and so now I have a line all the way around the bumblebee of yellow. So all you're gonna do now is single crochet for the rest of the bumblebee until we start to decrease, and I'll show you that. But all you're gonna do is just keep going in this black and yellow pattern. You're gonna do 2 rows of black, 2 rows of yellow, 2 rows of black, 2 rows of yellow, until you get 3 of these bands of black, if that made any sense. So what you're gonna do is just do 1 more row, because we already did 1 row of yellow, so you're gonna do 1 more row of yellow, then you switch to black, do 2 rows of black, switch back to yellow, 2 rows of yellow, switch back to black, 2 rows of black, until you have 3 of these black bands, and then I'll show you how to decrease. Okay, so I just finished row 19. I switched to yellow. So what you're going to do now is for row 20, I'm just gonna do a quick single crochet. So what you're gonna do for row 20 is 4 single crochet and then decrease. So I'll show you how to do that. This is that seam I was telling you about, how it's all messed up, but on the top it looks beautiful. I'm sure yours looks like that if you followed this. If you know a way to prevent that, do that. Truthfully, it's difficult for me, so it doesn't bother me that it looks like this on the bottom. I just usually take Sharpie, but I'll show you that. Anyways, so you're gonna do 4 single crochet and then a decrease. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. And then for a decrease, what you're gonna do, it's hard to see with the black, but you're gonna go through 1 single crochet like normal. You're gonna pull it through, but don't actually yarn over and pull it through like this. You're just gonna go through the next hole, the next stitch, and then pull through again. So now you have 3 on your loop, and then you're gonna go through like this and pull through all 3. So you're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then that decrease again. So you're gonna go into the first stitch, pull through, and then into the next stitch, pull through. So you have 3 on your loop, 3 on your hook, and then you're gonna pull through all 3 loops. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4 single crochet, and then decrease. You're gonna go through the first one, pull through, next one, pull through, yarn over, and then pull through 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go through the first one, pull through, second one, pull through, and then yarn over, pull through 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then decrease. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then decrease. First one, pull through, second one, pull through all through 3, and then 1, 2, 3, and I just do it, and even if it goes over the yellow again, 4, and then decrease, just because it's a little bit easier that way. And then I'll do my marker here on the last decrease and then put it here, and that's the end of row 20. So for row 21, you're gonna do one. So what you're gonna do is 3 single crochet. So that's 1, 2, 3 single crochet and then a decrease. So you're gonna pull through one, pull through the other, pull through all three of them. Same thing, 1, 2, 3, and then decrease. Pull through the first one, pull through the second one, and then pull through all three of them. 1, 2, 3, and then decrease. 1, 2, 3, and then decrease. 1, 2, 3, and decrease. 1, 2, 3, and then decrease. And I'm gonna stop here, even though it's in front of my stitch marker, because we're decreasing, so it's gonna be a little bit off, which is fine. I'm just gonna stop here because my thing's starting to go this way. So that is row 21. So row 22 is gonna be 2 single crochet and then a decrease. So I'm just gonna take my stitch marker out because I know where we're landing. Each time it's gonna be in line with the line here. So we're gonna do 2 single crochet and then a decrease. 1, 2, and then a decrease. 1, 2, and a decrease. 1, 2, and decrease. 1, 2, and a decrease. We're starting to get closer to our line here, but keep going. 1, 2, decrease. 1, 2, and decrease. And that is the end of round 22. So for 23, we're gonna do 1 single crochet, decrease. 1 single crochet, decrease. All the way around until you get to your line, okay? Okay, so we just finished row 23, and your hole on your bumblebee should be getting smaller. So this is kind of what we're looking at for our bumblebee. And so now what we're gonna do is just stuff the body. So I like to pull a long hole there so it doesn't get lost, and then I'll stuff the bumblebee body. So I just use stuffing that I get from Michael's, no specific brand. It really, you can get anything. It really doesn't matter to me too much what I use, but the stuffing looks like this. Once you start stuffing the body, you just stuff it up until you feel that it's enough in there. I like to overstuff my bumblebees because I think they're really cute when they're really fat and big fat bumblebees. I just think that's cute. So I overstuff mine, which is up to you. I have finished stuffing the bumblebee. I like to make it so that he's overstuffed, and this is what I have gotten to. So it's up to you how much you want to put in there. So at this point, row 24 is decreasing the entire way around. So what you do is, let me put my crochet hook back in there. Just like you did with the other decrease. It's a little bit stretched out, not gonna lie. I overstuffed mine completely. If you don't like this, don't do it. It's up to you. So I just, like we did before, you put it in the first one, pull it through, put it in the second one, pull that through, and then pull through all 3 of them. And you just do that all the way around, decrease the entire way. You might pull stuffing through, but that's fine. And then this is my last decrease. So it gets a little bit tight, a little hard to do. Pull through all 3 of them. And so you end up with this like a smaller hole. What I usually just do, they just say close it, like what I do is I just put through the opposite one like this. I'll grab my yarn and pull through just to close it, and I'll just do that. There's no sort of order, just any way to close up. And then I like to single crochet because I think bumblebees they do have a stinger, so it's fine if it's pointed. I think it is actually very cute. I'll show you at the end. So I just keep doing this until it's all closed up so that the stuffing doesn't come out. And then when you're satisfied with it being closed, I see this big hole here. I might close that one and this one by just going into one of these and pulling the yarn through so it's a little bit tighter. Same with this hole. I'm just gonna go underneath and pull through like this, so that way it's all closed up like this. And I'll pull this really far out, cut my yarn, and then I just grab it and pull it tight. And so what I'll do from here is just pull the yarn. Well, you could use your hook, but like your needle, but the hook works fine too. And I'll just pull the extra through like this. And then I'll just keep doing that. If it bothers you the way that looks, you could be more, you could be more neat with it and get your needle and actually sew in the end so it looks really nice and neat. I don't think it makes a huge difference in my opinion. You can just cut it like this. And then there's your bumblebee. There's the back of it, a little bit messy, but it's okay. There's the bottom. I'll cut off these little frayed pieces. And then we're gonna make the wings. And I'll show you how to make those. Okay, so now we're gonna make the wings. I have my white yarn. Same thing as the other yarn, just from Michael's or Walmart or something. Acrylic yarn, nothing fancy. We're just gonna make the starting point here. And with the wings, it's a magic ring again. I don't use the magic ring ever. So what I do is I chain 2, and then we're gonna make 6 single crochets into the first chain. So we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then you're going to pull this really tight. And it looks like this. And then row 2 is half double crochet increase so that there are 12. So what we haven't done a half double crochet yet. So what I'll show you is we're gonna go into this loop and we're gonna do 12 half double crochets. So what a half double crochet is you're gonna loop over your hook like this to start. So you yarn over, go into that first stitch, pull through, yarn over, pull through 3. And you're gonna do that again in the same stitch, yarn over into that same stitch, pull through, yarn over, pull through 3. So that's 2 of those, and you're gonna do 12 until you get back to the other end. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3. And then so that's 3 of those. Here's the 4th one. And you're just gonna do that until you get to 12. Okay, so we went all the way around with half double crochets. We're going to get started on the next row, which is 1 double crochet and then 1 double crochet increase. So we did a half double crochet, so the double crochet is a different stitch. So what you do is you yarn over, go into the first one. Actually, you know what? Stitch marker this time because we don't have a set amount and I don't want to do extra. We're going to put the stitch marker in here. And then so double crochet is yarn over into the first stitch, pull through, so you're going to yarn over again, pull through the first 2, yarn over through these ones. So that's the first double crochet. Now we're going to do a double crochet increase. So what that looks like is going to the next stitch, yarn over through, pull through, so you have 3 on, yarn over, first 2, yarn over through this last 2. And then you're going to do the same exact double crochet into the same exact stitch you just did. So yarn over, pull through, yarn over through 2, yarn over through the last 2. So that's the double crochet increase, and you're going to do another double crochet into this one. So yarn over, pull through, yarn over 2, yarn over 2, and then that's the next double crochet. So the pattern for this row is double crochet increase, double crochet increase, and all the way around. So yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, and then the last 2, and then this is an increase one, so you're going to same thing. Oh, I did it wrong. Ha. So yarn over, pull through 2, 2, last 2. Next one is just a single double crochet, just 1 double crochet in this next one. Pull through 2, last 2, and then all the way around until you get to the end. Double crochet, increase, double crochet, increase. Okay, so we just finished that row. I'm gonna take out the stitch marker, and all you're gonna do is slip stitch. So you just go into the next row like this and pull through, and then a slip stitch, you don't yarn over again, you just pull through the end and then pull way out. You can cut your yarn. You're going to make 2 of these, so just watch the part again on how to make one if you've forgotten. And so that's 1 wing, and you're gonna sew it on top of the bumblebee, and it's completely up to you if you want to do the bowl on the inside or the outside. I can't remember which one I like, but I'll let you know once both are done. So we just need 1 more of these. Okay, so I finished both wings. I'm just gonna show you how to put them on the bumblebee. Okay, so I just finished both of the wings, and I'm gonna show you how to put them on the bumblebee. So what I'm gonna do is I decided I'm gonna face them in towards one another. I think that looks the best. My wings came out different sizes, but it's okay, it doesn't really matter. So what you're gonna do, what I do initially is I'll tie them together. You don't have to do this, it just makes it a lot easier to sew them on. So I'll tie the 2 wings together. And then that way they sit a little bit easier when you're sewing them. And what I do is I just line it up with the face. So I'll try to get it as close to center as possible, and then as close to center as possible on the top of the bumblebee. And after I figure out where exactly I want them to go, I take my needle and I sew them together. So just back and forth like this. And when I put the first stitch in, I always double check to make sure that the wings are in a good spot still, because I have sewn them on and they'll be like crooked and then I have to take them off and sew them again. So I just like to double check before I actually get too far into sewing, and I just go back and forth like this until I feel that they're really secure. Like that. Yeah. I'll probably do another one. Like this, and that seems pretty secure to me. It looks like it's in a pretty good spot. So what I'll do is I tie these together again. Maybe one more knot. And then I'll cut them. And then you have your wings on. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention is that there's tails on the outsides, and I just cut those off. Don't cut like where the knot is. You can get close, just don't cut that, because then it will unravel. There, and then you have your bumblebee. If you are concerned about the underside looking like this, I have a little trick to do Sharpie. I'll show you that right now. Okay, so it's not the best trick in the world. There are YouTube videos by other people, not by me, that shows you how to get these lines perfectly, and I have watched those videos. It teaches you how to line these up. And I have never gotten the hang of it, so what I do is, see this little yellow mark? I just color it in with black. You can't do that with the yellow, but at least with the black, it does make it look a little bit neater. Not perfect, but if you have whoever you're gifting this to or making it for yourself, if you're that critical, truthfully, I don't know. I think that homemade gifts are this way, so I don't worry about it, if I'm being honest. And I'll just color in just any way to make it look a little bit neater. But you do what you like. I think that looks a little bit better. No one's gonna be critiquing your work that much, and if they are, then I don't know. But there is your finished bumblebee.